Hi guys, Tweedledee here. Welcome to another episode of the Complete Beginner's Guide to League of Legends. So this video is called I've been countered, what do I do? So the first thing you want to do when you get countered is Alt F4, uninstall LOL and go do something else. Perhaps go jump in the biggest pile of dog crap you can find, because that's going to be way more fun than playing this game of LOL you just started. Okay, so with all joking aside, while some of you may actually go and do that, for the rest of you who decide to actually play the game, I'm going to try to give you some tips as to what you can do if you have been countered. Number 1. Attitude. So if you go into a game with a negative attitude and you're instantly expecting to get owned by your counter in lane, that's what will happen. You don't want it to happen. Don't encourage it. Don't bring it on yourself. On the flip of that, if you go in and you have a positive attitude, you're giving yourself every chance of winning this lane, even though you've been countered. Number 2. Know what is expected of you. When you find yourself in a countered lane, you're expected to play extremely passive, safe, and not feed the enemy champion. You should also farm as much as you can, even if you have to do it from underneath your turret. Just make it a farm lane. Remember I talked about freezing a lane in a previous video? Perhaps try that now. So the opposite side of that is, what are you not expected to do? So you're not expected to go 6-0 in lane and carry hard. Simple as that. The third tip is to hug your turret. This has two advantages. Number 1, it keeps you a bit safer because you're at your turret, you've got that added extra protection from your turret, and it's less likely you're going to feed from there. Also, when you stick to your turret so hard when you're countered, it absolutely frustrates the enemy champion so much. And I can even tell you from being on the flip side of that, where I've been trying to get kills early on someone that I know I've countered hard, and all I've done is sat at the turret. I've played so safe that I just cannot get the kill. It frustrates you into making stupid mistakes like flashing tower dives and stuff like that, and it always ends up bad for you. And now you've just flipped it the other way around, where now they have the advantage by having the kill on you. So if the enemy has zoned you off your farm and you actually just cannot farm at all, don't panic. Just be sure to stay within XP range. It soon swings around, and most champions can at least get some of their farm, or most of their farm, underneath the turret, especially as the levels go on and you start to do more damage to the minions. So just don't panic. Just stay within XP range. Let the enemy zone you back a bit. Do not feed them is the most important thing. Don't die. You're better off even missing 20 CS or 30 CS and staying alive in that lane and not feeding. And then when the jungler comes along for you to gank, then you can secure that kill. Or he can at least zone them back off their farm, or make them have to recall, which then allows you to farm. So set up and prepare for ganks. So keep your health up and your mana and your burst ready to go, and set up for the ganks. Call your jungler. He should probably be already babysitting your lane if you've been countered so hard and not doing so good. Or if you're in top lane, perhaps mid lane will gank with the jungler. Or if you're in mid lane, perhaps top lane is pushed and he might gank with the jungler mid lane to make sure you secure that kill. But what you want to make sure is that you're in on that. You can't be in on that kill and get an assist or actually take the kill if you've got no health or no mana. You can't sustain in that lane, and then they go and do it without you. That's not good for you either. It's good for the team, but it's not good for you. Alright, this is an important one. Don't blame or rage at the jungler, even if he's not ganking your lane or not babysitting you, and he should be. There could be 1,000,001 reasons why he's not, and even if it's just him being an ass or he's not skilled enough to realise what he should be doing, by you raging at him, it's not going to make him gank your lane. He's not going to come and help you. It's going to make things worse. Either he's going to start raging back at you, you both might lose CS, or you might even die, or you might miss out on a kill by typing, or you might let one of your teammates die because you're typing in a flame war with your jungler. So don't do it. Just do not blame your jungler. Get on with your game. If he's not ganking, it's his fault as well in that sense. Just there's nothing you can do about it. Just soldier on and try and have positive reinforcement. Try to set up them ganks and try to keep the attitude positive. So don't keep making excuses about being countered and that's why I'm dying. Oh my god, I'm countered, that's why I'm dying. Don't do it. People don't want to hear it. It's not useful to the team. It's not useful for you. So build some of your defensive items first. There's absolutely no point in just ploughing ahead with the item build that you've got in your item set, or the primary item build that is maximum damage when you're doing really well for your champion. An example of this would be, let's just say you're playing Jack's top lane. You're against a Renekton. So Renekton has managed to kill you for whatever reason. He's managed to get up on top of you, you've died. You've got just enough money so you could either buy part of your phage, say the ruby crystal and the longsword, which will give you a little bit more health point and some attack damage. It would be more of your attack item. Or you could buy, say, the chain vest, which will give you plus 40 armor, and will then build into maybe a Randuin's Omen, or a Thorn Mail, or a Frozen Heart, depending on what you need to scale with the rest of the team fights later on. So 99% of people would still buy the ruby crystal and longsword, whereas the clever person would now at this stage buy the chain vest, try to set up the ganks, try and get the kill from your jungler assistance. At least now, if you've no choice but to trade again, you've got a higher probability of surviving that trade because you've got more armor. Whereas if you would have bought half of the Phage build, you would have went for the more damage, and that wouldn't have helped you sustain. You would have tried to kill him, but he'd already beaten you, remember? And he would have recalled as well and got more damage. So he still would have beaten you again, he would have had even more damage than you would have gotten. So I hope that isn't too confusing the way I've worded that. But basically, get more sustain in the lane if you've just died or you're beginning to feed. On to the next point, just simply pray that the rest of the lanes are doing well on your team. Simple as that. Last but not least, just try to survive the laning phase. You know, it's amazing. I've often said playing Teemo top lane, and I've been against a Nasus, and I've been so excited because I'm like, oh my god, I've countered him so hard. And I end up going something like, say, 6-0 in lane, or 7-0. So the Nasus has died 7 times to me. He's died 7 times. I've just absolutely dominated him in lane. He's just been absolutely crushed. Only for 40 minutes into this game then, all of a sudden Nasus is almost as tanky as he would be in any game he plays, no matter how well he's done. And he would be doing almost as much damage in any game as he would. And he's as useful to the team late game as I was to my team at the start. It's amazing how it can tweak around. Once you survive laning phase, that is a major plus. You've just survived your counter if you can survive laning phase without feeding really hard. So just to quickly recap on them points, you want to go in with a positive attitude, you need to know what is expected of you and what is not expected of you. You want to hug your turret, play safe, freeze the lane if possible. If you can't farm, don't panic, just stay within XP range. Call for and set up ganks for your jungler, he should already be nearly babysitting you. Don't blame or rage at your jungler. Don't keep making excuses, no one wants to hear it. Build some of your defensive items first. There's no point in ploughing ahead, building attack damage if you're not winning trades and you're just starting to feed. Start building a little bit defensive. Get sustain. If you are dying, don't panic, just take a deep breath and figure out what is going wrong and go from there. Pray that your team does well in other lanes. This will really help. If not, the QQ your game's over, GG. Try your best to survive the laning phase. It usually gets better as the game goes on. Usually. When you play extremely passive and you hug your tower a lot, what can happen is they might have a roaming champion, say an Akali, who needs to snowball as well. They need to get kills early in order to snowball and carry the game, so they will begin to roam. So be absolutely sure that if your opponent leaves the lane, make sure you call SS. Make sure you let the rest of your team know that your opponent has gone missing. They have to not get them kills. They will probably go elsewhere for them, so make sure they don't get them. So just to highlight the importance of SSing, I'm just going to show you this clip here. So notice I'm at mid, I've cleared away from minions. I'm on my way down now bot lane to roam. The Fizz hasn't called me as SS, quite obviously, because they have no idea that I'm coming down here. They haven't got the tri-bush warded, so I'm scoping out where I'm going to go now. I'm looking for the quickest target to get a reset on my ultimate, which is going to be Zyra. I can kill her quick. So on I go, ulti Zyra, bang, dead. So because I'm playing Akali and I need kills to snowball early, that's why I kill steal this. I go in, ult again, one last hit, double kill, and then I'm out. So there's the importance. So Fizz was under pressure for me in lane. Now I've roamed down bot lane, I've got 2 kills more, simply because he didn't call his SS, also because these 2 bot lane did not have wards in the tri-bush. I picked up 2 kills, now I've gone back at 6 minutes 50 seconds back to mid lane with 3 kills. And just for those of you who might be interested, I finished that game with 34 kills, 16 deaths, 8 assists, and we won. Being countered in lane really sucks, but with the right attitude and the right style of play, you can either make it through, or believe it or not, you can turn it upside down, and it is one of the most sincere victories you can have when you've beaten someone in lane and won the game after being countered. So that's it for another episode of the Complete Beginner's Guide to League of Legends. I hope to have helped you out in some way, shape or form. Please consider hitting that like button or subscribe for future videos. All the best for now, bye bye.